It'll come up with a number of recommendations for you to think about and choose from, and then you can lean in and focus on the ones that you think are most appropriate. And so this is why I think this approach is better than using the autocomplete that comes with the GitHub. And I think it's better than the little chat box that you can have in RStudio. You can have a much more detailed conversation before you start actually generating code itself. So this is what it's done, and it said suggested data analysis, and you can read through this. I'm not going to do that in this video, but it gives all sorts of suggestions about data visualization, etc., etc. So you read through that, and it'll give, and you'll really have a good sense of what to do next. And then after all of this, I said to it, provide me with our code to create a density plot, and then it did that. Here's the code that it provided, and then some explanatory notes. So that's quite good. And I like Gemini, and so the strength of Gemini is that it's quick. It'll give you something quite fast, and it's usually reasonably good. And so I use it every now and again. Now this is Claude. Claude is my favorite for generating really good code. It produces code with very few errors. When you cut and paste it into RStudio, 9 times out of 10 it does what you think it needs to do, what it's supposed to do. It will give, if you get an error and you cut and paste the error in here, it'll give you a good explanatory note as to how to fix it. Claude is excellent. So and you know, so basically I've asked it to write some code, and similarly a density plot for the iris data set. It's given me a number of options, which is nice. In any of these cases, you can just push copy there, paste that into RStudio and run it. So that's pretty easy to do. Now here's and you can ask Claude to do quite complicated stuff, by the way. You can ask it to create like a quarto page, you know, like which will be a web page with all sorts of fancy bells and whistles, and it'll produce a document that is downloadable, and you can open that document up. It'll open in RStudio as a quarto document. Really good and very impressive. So love Claude. Here's the downside, right? Claude quite quickly will run out of tokens. In other words, the number of prompts and information that you can stick into Claude and the number of outputs that it'll provide in any given period of time. So you might be in the middle of quite a big, important project, and you're halfway through generating the code, and you hit a snag, and you need to do the next step, and Claude sort of says, hang on, hold the phone. You've used up your allocation for the day. Come back tomorrow. And that is unbelievably frustrating. So while it produces, I think, the best results, that limitation will drive you bonkers if you are involved with a big project. If you're doing something short and quick, Claude is 100 times every day of the week the best place to go. Right, let's talk now about ChatGPT. Now for ChatGPT, I popped in the same prompt. I've said, write some code for creating a density